Hi, welcome back. I,
Okay, I let you start it. You're like, oh, I'm so confident about starting this thing. I'm the best. And then you can't start it. Okay, everyone. There's two monkeys on a microphone. We're here to talk about finance today. Ethan tricked me into talking about finance. I can't believe I'm here. Last episode, I was complaining about how boring the topic is. Ethan texted me. He's trying to convince me that it's going to be a fun topic. I thought I was going to be on here talking about memes, but no, we're talking about finance. So let's just get right into it. Ethan, what do you want to ask me about finance?
no, thank you, Jacques, for that explosive intro. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome back to our little show. So today we're going to talk about finance. We feel like that was your idea, Jacques. That wasn't my idea. So don't dump it on me.
no.
No, you don't
Okay, I don't want
know
to
me.
make this intro too long, but no, this was your idea about finance. I would never come up with this
Oh,
idea.
really?
I think my
Who?
idea was about something.
Okay,
Mine
so
was about the memes, okay?
so
Mine was about the memes. And you've given up on meme culture, you Instagram-less person.
so
Let's start. Just ask me a question, Ethan.
hey, don't cut
get
me
into
off.
this.
Let me just say this. So I guess it must be like the little snail in my head just told me to talk about finance last week. Is that what you
I
mean?
swear that you're the one who mentioned this. I
Anyway,
would never come up with such a ridiculous idea ever in my life.
sure. Anyway, I feel like it's gonna be a good topic to talk about. I mean, everyone has to deal with finance, and it's such a relevant topic to talk about nowadays. Chuck and I are kind of like make the agreement that we're not gonna touch on inflation on a little bit too much because that's something that we already talked about in our food episode. So we just talk about finance, how what we think about it, how we deal with it, and some of our financial blunders throughout the years. And speaking of blunders, why don't you start, Chuck?
Is this just like now your opportunity to make fun of me, Ethan? Like I've
Yes,
been making fun of you for the past, is it 4 episodes now?
I
And now you
know.
can finally get your revenge. Yes, I did an idiot mistake. I put my money in the bank
Whoa,
trying to
whoa, whoa,
invest it,
whoa,
and I
whoa.
lost a whole bunch of money.
Hold on. So tell me about the context. So like, where did you get the money? Like, how did you get started? Like, what kind of idiot that told you to get
Okay.
put money into the bank?
Sure. It
Okay.
was my dad who told me to put money into the bank,
Oh
Ethan.
my
I'll have you. We
God.
can talk to him later if you like. Anyway,
Yeah.
so like some people, they like spending all their money on French toast, and other people like to save their money.
The implication
I am the
here.
latter, and I saved a lot of money ever since I stopped buying Lego sets.
Oh.
I decided to well, actually, I didn't really decide. I just didn't have anything to spend my money on, and I
Just buying
put
on
it in the
Legos.
bank. When I was buying Lego is so expensive. That's like probably the dumbest decision I've ever made.
Well,
Like you think, okay, like the sets might be worth more in the future, and that's true. Like they are worth more in the future, and like Lego is such a terrible company because they don't give you nearly as much as they used to for like the price.
mhm.
And so if I was smart about it, yeah, I probably could have made money. But because I opened the sets, I lost pieces. My friends stole pieces from me.
Don't.
I didn't make that much. Like it's not like I'm making much money selling them on the secondhand market. So
I don't.
yeah, like I wasted a lot of money on yet Lego when I was young.
Mhm.
But then around high school, I just saved up my money. Didn't have much to spend it on,
Mhm.
and eventually I was like kind of doing my internship for university. Many years went by, lots of money in the bank account,
Oh, they pay you?
and no, this is just like grandparents giving me like $200.
Oh.
No, they didn't give me $200. They gave me like a $50 and a $50 Indigo card,
Okay.
which is like I'm not complaining. That's pretty good. But
Mhm.
like, if you count the years and also like when you pay for university and like have jobs and things like that,
Mhm.
you save money.
Mhm.
And I guess around that time, everyone was like investing.
Mhm.
So I thought, Yeah, I can invest too. I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to
Mm,
invest. I'm going to make money on the side. I don't even have to work as long as I just don't touch it.
yeah.
I'm going to I'm going to make a good bit of money. I wasn't expecting to be a millionaire or anything. And so but also I'm very lazy. I don't like to check things every day.
Mm,
And my dad was like, hey, you can just go to the bank. They'll invest it for you. They'll take out a fee. And, it's done by professionals.
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, sure, sure. That sounds like a great idea. How much money do you think I put in, Ethan?
I don't know. 12 grand. It's just a random number, but
12 grand?
yeah, yeah. You look like a guy who would have like
Dude,
12 grand in the
you think
bank.
12 grand?
Yeah.
I was expecting you to say like 300 bucks.
Well, I don't know, like the lowest amount of money that you can put in the
I
bank
could
for them
like
to
buy a
invest.
car with 12 grand.
see,
I
see,
don't
you
think I've
know.
ever hit 12 grand ever in my life. You think I am? I thought we knew each other. Okay, second guess, second guess.
Take a
I'll give you three guesses and now tell it.
This is very funny because like if I get it, like if 12 grand was the correct answer, you will look like a colossal idiot right now. Imagine.
If I lost 12 grand, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself. That's like years worth of savings.
I would laugh so hard. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna laugh at your
Okay,
pain.
you said before we started this podcast, you said, "Oh, Jacques, I'm not the type of person who gets enjoyment out of making fun of people and like wishing harm on them." Hey, go and say that, eh? Like,
I get the appeal now. I get.
I have. I should really start this podcast with someone else. Anyway, give me your second guess.
I get why it's so fun for you to poke fun of me now. How does it taste, John?
Sure, sure.
Anyway.
No, like I'm sure you're devil deep down. But anyway, give me your second guess. Like stop here.
Okay, it's not 12 grand, and you make fun of me for saying 12 grand, so I'm saying maybe 4 grand.
Okay, you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
Like-
What's your third guess?
Third guess would be $1,500.
That's kind of far now. But anyway,
Okay.
so actually, there was something right about 12 grand.
Mm,
You
mm.
just had to divide it by two. It
Oh,
was 6 grand.
Okay.
I put 6 grand,
that's still a lot of money, man.
and I didn't lose all of it. By the
Okay.
way. I only lost 300 bucks.
Okay,
I
good.
actually made a bit of money, and then I lost a whole bunch, like 300 bucks. So it wasn't like, I knew some people who put like $1,000 in and lost the whole $1,000. So thank goodness I didn't do it myself.
Smart.
And I actually went to the bank.
hmm
But yes, I did lose money, and I still have the money in, so I could lose more money, or I could make money in the future. I did economics class. The guy said in the economics class that as long as you put money in the bank and you leave it there, the market just goes up. So eventually, you'll actually be making money. You might not make as much money as you want, but it's just destined to be that way. Except he was a bit of a shady guy, so I don't know if I fully believe him. But sure, I'll believe him. He's the expert.
What was he like? Was he like one of the professors, or you just like talk to a random guy in econ classes?
He was the professor.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't get this from. I had to go to my friends and probably get the same type of advice from like my fellow econ students.
Okay, so you put in 6 grand, and
Yes.
like the total amount. Like, how does it work? Like, explain it to me, because I'm kind of like.
Well, you sign a whole bunch of forms
Uh-huh.
that basically say you're giving the money to the bank.
Okay. The total amount of 6 grand. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they recommend you to put even more money in, like
Of
on a
course.
monthly basis.
The banks,
And you say, look,
Look.
I'm already giving you 6 grand. Like, what do you want from me? And then you sign the papers, and there's like 3 options. There's like, do you want to be like the extreme gambler? Do you want to be like the moderate gambler? Or do you want to be like the guy storing the money under the carpet? And I went for the moderate, and yeah,
So
that's how it went.
oh, okay. So like do they like state the amount, like exact amount that they're gonna use it for, investing? Like how does it work? Like are they gonna like put all of your money in
They don't.
invest.
They don't show you shit. They're
Oh,
just
okay.
like.
So there's no transparency.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
thanks for the money, bro. Yeah, totally make it back later.
So how long have you been, doing the investing thing? Like how long has it been in there? 3 years? Two?
Since my internship, so I guess maybe is it 2 years? So 1 year.
2 years.
1 year. 1
1
year
year.
and a half.
It's
It's not that bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I know a whole lot about business and econ, but
Oh, Ethan, you haven't put 12 grand in investing? You would have known.
But it's kind of expected. $300. It's kind of funny
Do you
because I
think
keep
you'll ever
having.
invest, Ethan?
Well, if I ever invest, yes, I will. I think I will.
25 cents into the bank?
No,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was thinking about the image of you doing, stuff for your parents, and then they pay you a little bit of money, and I feel it kind of funny when I imagine you with 6 grand showing up to the bank with your entire saving on the line, and you just like sign
It
papers.
wasn't okay. Like I did split it up. Like I didn't just like go in and I'm like, okay, here, have my full savings. I did have a bit of money back up. Like
Great.
yeah, I think at the time,
Mhm.
actually, I don't want to go too much into my financial details, but it wasn't everything.
Okay. All right. So, did your dad say anything when you found out that you lost a little bit of money?
Like since it's such a long process, I think he was just like he didn't really talk about it, but I think if he would say something, he'd be like, well, if you lost the money in 10 years, like the full money, then that would really suck. But might as well wait. Like it's only been a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it is kind of surprising because at one point I was at like I think $6,250, and then the market just went down, and I think I went down to like $5,500 at one point.
Not that I understand that, but sure. But anyway, it brings up this very interesting question I want to ask you. What are the perception of money that you yourself, and also the thing that you observe from other people, like your parents and stuff? Like, how do they feel about money? Like, is this something that they constantly aware of, and they have to like save up every penny that they can, and they worry about the future? Or they're relaxing, oh yeah, Jock, you can have that ice cream this weekend. Who doesn't love you, You can just, yeah.
Look, I think. Have you ever played with in-game currency, Ethan?
Yes. Maybe a lot. Maybe too much.
It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
So, what kind of player are you like? You spend your in-game currency as soon as you get it on like, what you want? Or do you like save up a ton of your in-game currency and then like, just like never use it?
It will be somewhere in the middle. Like I will save up. Like I know the things that I want, but I would say I'm not gonna like, I must spend all of this right away. Yeah.
Okay. So you see, I'm of the two extremes. When it comes to real money, I save it and I never spend it.
Okay.
Very rarely. In-game currency, as soon as I got like just enough to get like the basic like roll, like the nice gamble roll, and you get like the flashy lights, I'm like spending that like, tomorrow.
You got tricked. The system got you.
Well, like I never use my own money, right? But
Right.
still, like you grind up, right, the points. And like the way I see it is, what's the point of like having a whole bunch of points in store? Because like in the game world, like the items you get help to get you more points, right? So it's like
Okay.
it's
Good
like
point.
in some ways of a like unless it's like completely cosmetic. And I never spend my like in-game points on cosmetic things. But if it like helps me like at the game,
Mm-hmm.
why sit on all this stuff when I can like, just build up my character?
Okay.
So that's how I see money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it helps you like get to a goal,
Mm-hmm.
then sure, I'll spend it.
Mm.
And like I can even get like kind of like desperate where I'm like counting the pennies
Mm-hmm.
just to like get enough money to get to that like one goal.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're just splurging it for the sake of splurging it, then
Mhm.
like, I'm not interested.
Mm. That's really that was a good analogy that you got. Yeah. I feel like I'm okay with spending money as long as I'm getting back something, right? Like it helps you make more money in that sense. So yeah.
Okay.
But like,
Can I
yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Just about that point.
Okay.
So if you had the choice,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you spend $20 to see a new release of a movie. I know a new release of a movie isn't usually $20,
Okay.
but let's say it is $20.
Yep.
Or you can spend $20
Mm-hmm.
and you get a new notebook.
Okay.
Let's say that, the price of a notebook is $20.
Okay.
Now the movie is going to be a lot more exciting. You can go with your friends and you can like,
Mm-hmm.
make it a real event.
Mm-hmm.
However, once you've spent the $20, like there's no movie anymore. Like,
Right. Yeah.
that event's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It might be in your memories. You might like it might help boost your day up,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a one-time thing. Whereas the notebook, you have that daily till like you run
Sure.
out of pages.
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you spend the money on?
Good question. And before I answer that, I'm just gonna say that there's this saying in, very famous, that there's no such thing as a free lunch. And it's not just about like, oh, there's no such thing as free, but it also means that there are things in life, most of them, there are things that you gain and things that you choose to give up to gain, right? And in the case of going to the movie or getting something like a notebook, it's complicated. It depends because, sure, getting to the movie, it is excited, but like it's not gonna last for long. It's gonna be there like an hour or two of excitement, and then once that's gone, it's gone. Sure, I'm not getting out much of it, but if you look at it, it's not just about going to the cinema to watch movies. It's about spending time with the people that you like, like your friends. You making memories. You're going out there and having laughs, having something to talk about. And then if it's a very good movie and very popular, you have something to talk to people, so it helps you, make social connection. So that's the case for going to the movie. And with the notebook, sure, it is it is an investment on your personal education endeavor and stuff. I feel like it could be useful, but the same case can be applied. I mean, it is useful, but what if I'm not looking? What if I'm not the type of person who uses notebooks a lot, right? Like,
Okay.
sure,
So
like,
which one
okay,
do you choose? Choose one of them.
choose one of them. I would go for the movie.
I'd do the same.
Yeah.
So in the past, I would always go for the notebook.
Oh, okay.
I always was like, okay, I want something of material exchange for my money that I can keep on and like have. And I think that's like the kind of the collector mentality where you're just trying to collect things and you believe that these things will be helping you later on.
Right.
Whereas the other mentality is the person where you only live once, you might as well have fun with your friends and like make the most of the moment, and it'll help shape you into a better person.
Yeah.
Increasingly, I'm trying to stray away from the collector mentality because I realize
Okay.
that when you hoard things, you have things all around you, it's very hard to concentrate. So yes, the notebook might seem like a cool option because maybe one day you'll be using that notebook like for your classes and probably, there'll be a day when you need a notebook.
Right.
However, I'd rather, like, when I need the notebook, I'll go out and buy that notebook.
Okay.
And then I'll use the notebook, right? But if I'm just presented the two options, like I wake up in the day, I have these two options, I'd always go for the movie just because I increasingly believe that the less things you have around you, the clearer your mind is, and the more you can concentrate on the things that matter.
You sound just like my brother. I remember going to his place. He's a cool guy. And the moment that he started making money, he started like spending money on cool things, which is cool for a while. But then after a week, you kind of get bored of it, like card games and these little toy on your hands you can play. So like when I was there, he was just like giving away stuff. Like here, you can have mine. So he just like gave me a bunch of random shit.
Here, he said, like, a big chunk. Like, oh, thank you. Wow, this is so cool. I can't wait to bring it to my apartment. It's like, sucker. It's
Exactly.
great having a younger brother. It's like a trash can that you don't need to pay for. Like here, if you want to bring a whole bunch of stuff to the dump, you have to pay for it. Like, literally, you're like the human trash. They'll be like, hey, you want some of these leftovers? They're a little expired, but I'm sure you can make a good meal out of them. It's great on my French toast.
One question. Does that apply to long-term goals, you feel like? Like, let's say you have five grand in the bank. You can spend it, or you can save it. Maybe you can spend it like for example, like a trip around the world, or something huge, something that you haven't done before, like jumping out of an airplane, something like that. Or you can save it up for retirement or further education. Like, what would you choose? Like, let's not say that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, answer it.
But, I think whenever you save money, there'll be an occasion where you need to use that money.
Sure.
And if you don't save money, then those occasions will still pop up, and you won't have the money to pay for them.
No.
So you'll have to take out a loan or something. So I believe that part of saving is just to get ready for those things that go wrong, or those or just like goals that you're hoping to attain, or unforeseen payments. I also believe saving is about, like, you shouldn't just be saving money.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's kind of like what I was talking about with the like in-game currency, where I just spend in-game currency right away because I realize it progresses my character, or in my case, I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It means that I can get more cards, and with the more cards, I can do more things with the cards, which makes me a better player. I think that's the same thing with life. So increasingly, I try and think that money will replace itself. You don't have to be worried that like you're going to go broke,
Right.
because you spend $300, somewhere. Somehow you earn $300 somewhere else. Like increasingly, I find like the government will give you like your tax money back, something like that, right?
Mobucks.
And then you're like, oh, I wasn't really thinking that I would be getting any tax money back, but hey, I'm getting tax money back. That's pretty cool. Or like you'll find a small job that you do, and then like you get the money back somehow. So like I think being too money cautious is also a very big issue. And so I try and spend money on things that I think will matter in the future. So maybe not a notebook, but I like drawing, like experimenting with my drawings. I know that I'm not a digital artist, but I also know that like if you like increasingly at least doing like manga comic type drawings, you have to be somewhat in tune with like the digital space.
Yeah.
So I'll purchase something like I actually got my iPad for free because I entered a competition and I won it, and I got
Oh my
the iPad
goodness.
free. But I bought the pen and the case myself,
Okay.
which is way cheaper than an iPad. But
Of course.
I knew that I was like, okay, yeah, I might never draw on this thing, but it's still good to have, just because if I do need to draw on it, I'll be able to do it. And that's something that I have as a long-term goal, where I can like, I might not be a comic artist. I might not even make a full comic book, but I still want to, publish panels and things like that.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question. I kind
Yeah.
of talked and
No.
rambled on.
No.
I'm
It's
sure
very
everyone's
good.
very bored. So
I have
let's
one.
spice things up a bit.
I
You
have.
should have done a Jeopardy or like what would you rather? Why do I come up with all these great ideas during the podcast?
Note that down,
instead of-
or I'll listen to it and I'll note it down. But I have one question for you. So, do you think that the financial, like how you perceive money, you got it from anywhere else? Like, let's say your friends or like your family. Like, do those people affect you on how you see money?
I think one thing that scares a lot of people is they hear those stories of people going broke or like owing a lot of money and they get scared. Like I had, people that I knew who like said that they never pay back their debt.
Right.
And they'd always be in debt to the bank. And that's scary. You're like thinking, I don't want to be in debt.
Sure, yeah.
Like I don't think anyone wants to be in debt. It's the same kind of thing that you hear about drinkers. However, like I don't often drink alcohol, but I do drink alcohol. And there was a certain point when I was like starting to drink alcohol where I was thinking, oh, I gotta be so careful about this. I don't want to be like an alcoholic. There's so many alcoholics in the world. It's so terrible. I think it's, in school, you're always told these things and then you kind of believe the worst out of them. But you eventually realize that, well, I'm not going to be alcoholic. I'm too cheap to be an alcoholic. And like, you have to like, I think to really be an alcoholic, you have to be like severely depressed. I'm not saying that I'm not severely depressed, but like, I don't think I'm at that state where I'm like, oh, I need something to lean on. I need my crutch here. So yeah, like I know this, basically my answer to your question is I think school has a big part in kind of how you see your finances. And it freaked me out at first, but increasingly as I grow older, I'm realizing that not everything they make it like they tell you at school is absolutely 100% true. Like they're just trying to prepare you for the future, and part of that is like just getting you scared. Like I remember when they're talking about sexual diseases, and they were like making it seem like, God, you have an intercourse, you're done for. Like it's like a 75% chance that you got a sexual disease. You're like spinning the wheel there. They're also saying like, talking about like women having like children as they get older, and like the chances of like something going wrong as you get older. And it made it seem like, after 18, you're pretty much done. Your child. And I know so many people who are like have children when they're older. And it's okay. Not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying like you can't worry about it.
Yeah, the risk is there, but it's not high enough for you to constantly worry about it. Yeah. What about your older generation in your family, like people who lived through like the Great Depression or things like that? How were they like? Yeah.
What kind of image do you have of my family living through? Like they had tough times, of course, but they don't really talk about it too much.
Oh, okay.
I think things changed. Now you've been asking me all the questions, Ethan. Now it's time for me to ask you the questions.
Sure. I mean, I was gonna share something, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, share away.
Because the reason why I asked that question, because my family, well, in Vietnam, we didn't live through the Great Depression, but during the during that era, in North America, you have the Great Depression, but in our country, we have the war, and war happens, and which means that your life is constantly being threatened. And financially, you're not going to do very well either. Fun fact, most of the country at the time was living through poverty, extreme poverty. Like you see people dying on the street because not having a crumb of bread all the time. That's not even a joke. Like that's what happened. In 1945, I think like 1 million of people just like died of hunger during World War II, during the Japan occupation of Vietnam. So that left a very strong impact on my grandmother generation who grew up in that sort of time where things were extremely hard. You have to imagine like people, like the food that the livestock ate at the time, there was some instant that people like had to eat those sort of food in order to survive. So that left a very strong impression on how to be had to be frugal, like how to save as much as you can, even though like things are better now. But like they are very self-conscious about what they have and what they want to save of. So that's my grandparents. They were extremely, I don't know, like they would scold at you for not finishing your meals, things like that. And they always tell you like they always tell their children like not to spend. They wouldn't give their children money, like any kind of money, because their logic was that, well, you're a kid, you're not gonna need this money, so better send it to me as an adult to take care of everything. And they make sure that the children that when they grow up, they will know how to use the money responsibly. So that's sort of mentality that we have around here, and it got to me as well. I mean, I grew up. We had difficult times, sure, but things got better at some point. But that mentality kind of like stuck around, right? I always self-conscious about the thing that I buy, the money I spend out, what sort of stuff that I'm doing financially, and sometimes I would feel guilty of spending money, right?
Well, I don't think we mentioned this, but Ethan's traumatized because when he came to Regina, he had to pay $14 for ice cream. And he still mentions it to this day to me. He's like, I spent $14 on ice cream shock. I don't know what to do with myself. It's like a year's worth of money for me. And if I was in Vietnam, it would only have been like 25 cents.
Exactly.
My goodness. The traumatic times, traumatic times. And like, so why do you want to come back? You said like you're going to be spending like even more money than $14. But
funny how you brought it up, because like for me, I was like constantly making comparison when it comes to prices, not only in my currency but like also in Canadian dollars as well. And I remember going to a Walmart back in Saskatoon when we were doing the program. I went into the Walmart with Joseph. Yeah, with Joseph. And I just look at the pricing on the meat aisle, and I was like, my goodness, that's a lot of money for like a pack of ribs.
I look at it too, and I think it's a lot of money for
yeah. Jesus.
And I didn't go through the like Vietnamese, those grandparents and stuff. Like, my goodness. Prices have become so expensive now. I could go on about fish and fish prices, but I'm not going to.
You mentioned about it, yeah. But yeah, the point is, I am the kind of person who got that. Like my parents and my grandparents had a really big impact on how I see money, and I don't think that's gonna go away soon. Like, yeah, sure, I know that I should. Well, it's not like this plan is gonna last for another 50 years. I don't think so, but I also very conscious about money in general. So yeah, that's why I asked you that question. Like, but yeah. Anyway,
you're the type of person who will like have the same underwear for like 5 years.
No, I would get new underwears.
Okay, that's good. I meet people who are like that, Ethan. And, I know it's desperate times and all that, but I wouldn't go down that route.
Well, I mean, I'm cheap, but I would be smart cheap. Like I would get good stuff so that it will last longer, but I wouldn't wear the same pair of underwear for like 10 years like some people.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have like this shirt that I had in elementary school that I still wear to this day.
Me
It's
too.
a little short,
Me too.
but shirts, that's a different game.
Yeah,
But,
of course.
When you get to like something
that is
replace.
touching your, precious little thing, then maybe.
Let's move on here. We're talking about finance.
Okay. But yeah, you mentioned about you have questions. Sure, fire at me. What sort of questions that you have?
Well, you kind of distracted me with the whole big story. Now I'm kind of like a bit aloof. But let me just think.
Sure.
I like the would you rather questions, but I feel like the big one we've asked.
Mm-hmm.
Like of course, there's the other financial question that lots of people ask. If there's a trolley going down a railroad, and one person's tied to like the road, and then there's like a way to divert it, and there's 5 people on the other side to divert it.
I don't
That's a
think
very important financial question, but
I don't think it was
we'll
a
move that
financial
one
question.
to the side for today. And instead, I think I'll ask a much more simple question where,
Uh-huh.
okay, do you think you'd have children in the future?
Oh, that's such a good question. It's so good of a question. I want to ask you first. Well, how do you?
No.
No, come on, because like, here's the thing.
Asking you questions
Okay.
because I've been doing all the
Okay.
carrying of this podcast this time.
okay, because-
I think you've heard more stories from me than like from you. Like the only thing you gave was like my grandparents are frugal.
That was a
I
lot.
told you
What do you
about how I
mean?
was like,
That was very personal.
Okay, so you answer the question first, and then I'll answer it.
Okay, because like the reason why it's such a good question because you live in the first world, like a first world country. So like your idea of having children can be very different from me, who's like living in Southeast Asia.
I think our idea is pretty similar, but you go ahead.
Okay.
Come on.
If it like when we talk about finance and having children, right?
Yes.
I feel like
Financial side.
yeah, financial side. I think that
Not
will,
about love and
Yeah.
all that other like,
no, yeah, I
stuff
get
that
it.
we talk about.
Then no, I think I'm not gonna have children in financial terms because
Have you told your girlfriend this? This is kind of bad. You might want to know this. Ethan.
yeah, well, I made it very clear.
Tell her to listen to the podcast episode.
She does. She does listen to it.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway,
Sorry,
yes.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, well, I think financially speaking, I think having children is very, very, very expensive. The amount of income that you make here. Okay, let's say you're living in the capital, right? Hanoi, Vietnam. You're living in the capital, and let's say you have it's quite a decent job. It pays well. It pays like I don't know $2,000 a month. That's like a lot here, but you can achieve that number, $2,000 a month. And you have your partner who's also making the same amount of money. You guys have an apartment, and you are ready to settle down. Well, even though $2,000 a month is like a lot of money for Vietnamese, it's barely enough to cover the cost of raising a child here in Hanoi. You have everything from food, medication, clothing, transportation, and education is a big part. Like that's like where all the money is going down. And I feel like I'm already catching breath with my own education, let alone, taking care of someone else for like 18 years down the line. I think
A young rebel.
yeah, so I feel like
Poor mother. I salute her. Having to deal with you.
I feel like
18 years, wow. My goodness. I can barely do an hour with you talking on this podcast.
I
No,
feel
but like,
Mhm.
does the government give you any support, or like, is it completely up to you?
It's completely up to you. I mean, sure, you have like different laws that kind of like support your child if you go to public schools or your health education, like you get some benefits. But those systems are not really good in the sense that you're not getting much out of it, and also public schools are terrible here compared to the stuff that you can get in private school, right? Like there's a very big gap. So what ends up is that if you're rich, you if you want the best thing for your children, you have to have money. Otherwise, you're kind of fucked. You're kind of fucked.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all like in places like in Europe or like in Japan, where like the moment you have a children, then you add all these benefits to.
Oh yeah, they're really trying to get the kind of the birth rate
Exactly.
up
Yeah.
over in those countries.
hmm
How about Vietnam? Is the birth rates good or not really?
Well, it's been rising. No, it's been very well for the last 20 years. Like our population just like blew up from 40 million to like double that in just like a few decades. But it's slowing down. It's kind of alarming because like for like the normal amount of birth rate slow down, like you see a very steady decline. But whereas us it's just like straight dropping. Like it is reducing quite a lot, and it is quite a concern in the last few years. But yeah, it's slowing down.
Well, that really sucks. I don't get to ever see Ethan Jr. then.
Ethan Jr.
I was kind of hoping to see Ethan Jr. like wandering around in the background of your camera. I want to see how much alike he is to his father. Who knows? He might even be smarter than his father. Like be cooking you like your French toast in the morning and taking care of you, like getting the finance. Oh, that's a real shame. And then you could like call me Uncle Jacques. You could be like, oh,
That's cute.
and we could both make fun of you. That would be so great. You should rethink this thing. I think, financial, living your whole life in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little bit of downside, but then you get a cute little monkey like walking around the room. I think it's a fair trade-off.
With the amount of money that I'm giving away and with the amount of things that I could do with that sort of money, I don't think it's a fair trade, but sure, you tell me. But even if I want to have a child, it's gonna be a long wait. Like a very, very long wait. So you better stick around if you want to see that little Ethan monkey. Yeah.
What? Okay, since like you're telling me, this whole child thing is a futile thing.
Okay.
Let's kind of relive it here, like
Yep.
in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the kid's name?
Are you asking me to name my future children in my podcast?
Yeah.
So I just name it? Okay, I don't know. Oh my god, I'm gonna think.
We're going down the wrong road here. Like this comes naturally, right? Like think the kids just come out of the mom. It's going goo goo gaga. You don't have like forever to think about this. You have to get this right away.
Okay, but like I'm gonna breathe out the most whitewashed name that you can ever imagine. So if it's a girl, is Eli a girl name? Eli? I feel like it's a girl.
It doesn't have to be English. You can tell me like the Vietnamese name.
No, I feel like I would go for an English name.
Wow. Okay. So much for your like Vietnamese pride, eh? Anyway, yeah. Okay. So what's this girl's name?
Eli? Is Eli a girl's name?
Eli?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Eli.
Don't judge me.
Sounds a little bit like Ethan. Ethan and Eli.
I don't know.
To be honest, I know more boy Eli's than girl Eli's.
Oh, really? Okay.
She'd be like a bit of a tomboy.
Sure.
Person.
I'll love her no matter what. Doesn't matter.
Okay. So
Eli. Yeah.
Got that sealed.
Eli.
What's the boy's name?
What's the boy's name?
I like how you go to the girl first. Like you've already got it set on the daughter.
Sure.
Anyway,
Boy.
What's the boy's name?
The boy will be something with Che. Maybe. No, I don't like it.
Che?
Yeah.
Man, this guy's like sounding emo. Like I'm the shade, bro.
No, because your name is Jock.
Like hanging out in the dark. Jock and Shay sound pretty different. Now, I don't know, like I thought it was English. Like Jacques is French.
Well, I mean,
but you can call him Jacques. I think he'd grow up to be a very intelligent,
sure,
very mature,
yeah,
very strong, athletic.
Yeah. Very good at making fun of people and taking care of his financial stuff. Anyway, okay, the top of my head right now, Aaron. Oh, that's a girl's name.
Aaron, like Aaron Yeager.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Taking down Titans. Like.
Well,
going on rage.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so Eli
and Aaron.
You really like Ease.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Yeah.
It
catches on.
I respect it. It's like you can see the connection, but it's not like Ethan the second, or
Ethan Jr.
the third, right? There's a little bit of originality. I like it. Okay.
Okay.
And so, what clubs are you going to be like getting your kids into?
What clubs?
You're a parent now, Ethan. You think of your finance. You think of like what you can afford. There's a financial stream here.
Okay. Well, if we're talking about like clubs, I would aim for something that's very, useful in the future because I think for sure that my children's not gonna stick to that club for the rest of their life. So I
Wow,
think
you all have low opinions of your children.
like I mean my
Okay, I'm going to stop interrupting. Keep going. These already decided failures are going into like a club.
because my mom took me to a club. I never stuck to it. So
Okay, just because you didn't stuck to it and you were the failure doesn't mean that your kids will be the failure.
Fair. Okay,
if you
fair
keep
enough.
thinking like this, going to be a chain, right?
Okay.
This is how things repeat.
Okay, all right.
She probably thought the same thing when she was bringing you to this club. She was like, this guy's not going to be sticking in it. I don't really need to think about this very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to fix the problem here.
Okay.
Everything's fixed.
Yeah, okay.
Think of your finance. Think about what you want them to do.
I want them to do sports. It's healthy.
Oh.
It's healthy. It's not always like financially demanding, and you can meet a lot of cool people, and it teach you like how to function with your body, which is very useful, and it also teach them how to be active and like the benefits of being active, that sort of stuff. So yeah, sports.
Please tell me that it's not badminton. Anything but I'll agree fully. The kids who did badminton in school, like, the guys that I knew,
I was gonna
they
ask
weren't
like
the right type. They weren't right in the head, No disrespect to badminton players. I'm sure there's many cool kids who do badminton, but at least the ones I knew, a little bit off, So which sport are you thinking of, Ethan?
Well, I mean, I play basketball, so basketball I will.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you are kind of a bit skinny, kind of tall. Not really tall.
Not really
A
tall.
bit of a midget. But
Midget?
I guess you could kind of like, slip through the guys, right? With the basketball, kind of slip between them.
Well,
I can see it. You're a basketball player.
but for my high school, the height wasn't really a problem. But yeah, in Canada,
Sure.
that must be different. But basketball, yeah.
I'm a midget. And I'm like taller than you.
Are you? Like, how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, never mind then. Jesus Christ. You don't look 5'11". No.
I am so insulted. Wow. Is this like... I never deserved this abuse. What did I ever do to you? Like, making fun of me in that way? Like,
No.
Publicly? Wow.
No.
Ouch.
No, because like...
Oh, wow. That hurts. I'm going to be remembering this for a long time.
Not like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow, ouch. Anyway, Ethan, these kids you're talking about. So both of them are doing basketball. Girl and boy, or like it's just the boy?
Get him.
Aaron Yeager, the Titan killer. But, it's fitting, right? You're short, he's short. All the basketball guys are like tall. He's the Titan killer. He's gonna like jump up there. He's gonna like swing from the hoop with the basketball, and he's gonna look down on them, and he's gonna be like, "Look at me, you Titans! You can't defeat me."
Hold on. I feel kind of lost for calling you not looking like 5'11". I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that.
Ethan, you take things so personally. You're like the mushy person. I don't care that you don't.
Okay, fine, good. Good, moving on.
Right? It doesn't matter to me.
All right.
You're so gullible sometimes. It literally, I never worried once about my height.
Good.
Actually, would
Great,
rather
then.
be shorter than taller. You can get around like
True, yeah.
places easier.
Mm.
But anyway, we
Anyway.
have to get back onto the main thing with
Okay.
finances. So, you have to pay for basketball in
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam.
Well, no, not really. You have public spaces you can go to. Most schools have a basketball course. You can
But
go.
look. Okay, you're not thinking. These are your kids aren't public, basketball players.
Oh,
They're
right.
professional. They're like going up there, right?
Right.
This is the expectation thing. This is an intervention. We call this intervention.
Okay.
You have this problem, Ethan. You have low expectations for your children.
Mm-hmm.
We're here, me and the other teachers.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the potential in your children,
Okay.
but for some reason you don't want to pay professional lessons for
Well,
them.
of course.
And we want you to pay for professional lessons for these kids.
I'm willing
They're
to.
going
I'm willing to pay for my
to
children.
stars, Vietnamese stars,
B2B
the
stars.
best in the world.
Best in the world.
The first Vietnamese basketball players to enter into the NBA.
Yeah, I'll pay for it. I would.
Okay, you'll pay. You'd work like a slave to get your students, your kids.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, it's kind of a bit of a like a gambling thing, right? They
Sure,
could get
yeah.
injured.
Mhm.
Like the plane over to America,
Mhm.
have their game in the NBA, it could go down.
Mhm.
You could lose them forever.
Mhm.
It's like a lot of money down the drain.
Well,
Literally, swirl, swirl, swirl.
I feel like when the airplane that carries my children crashed to the ocean, I don't think the money is gonna be the biggest concern, Jock. I don't
Well,
think.
the money is something. Like, how much money you put into them, right?
I'm not sure it's gonna be as my children's funeral. I'll be like, oh my goodness, the amount of money.
Still have the microphone to you. Your children just died. What do you think? I can't believe my investment just sank. Just sank. This is the worst since Wall Street. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. How about your Jimmy? He was trying to reach you before, like, who cares about Jimmy? About all the money I put into Jimmy.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're willing to pay for these kids to
Okay.
reach the heights in basketball.
Yeah,
become
I
a
would.
professional
I would do everything. Yeah.
basketball player.
Yeah.
Even if you're like a single father.
Even if I'm
and
a
you know
single
that,
parent,
like,
I feel like I would work extra hard if I was a single parent, or if I'm a single parent, because my mom did the same thing, and I'm forever grateful for that. So I feel like my child deserved that. So yeah.
and you'd go into debt.
Yes.
For
Even
your
debt. Yep.
Okay, women, listen here. This is your guy. You can have a kid. He'll do all the work, and you can just go off into the Bahamas. There's your dude. His name is Ethan. He lives in Vietnam. Perfect pick. He'll even pay for his children to go to like professional basketball camp. What a sucker. You should get your girlfriend to listen to this episode, Ethan. She's going to be a lot closer to you after this.
I mean, we're dating for like 2 months, but yeah, sure.
Ooh, 2 months. It'll be like, have kids, and then you can say goodbye to her. You'll know that, the kids are safe in your hands. You're willing to do everything for them. You'll go up into court, and they'll be like, you sure you want to give him full custody of the children? Yep. Don't even need to see them after this. I'll know they're in good hands.
It's Ethan. He will figure it out.
Yeah. He's willing to work
Go the extra miles,
12 hours a day. Yeah, children do basketball. Professional basketball lessons. Ethan folded as soon as the teachers called him up and said, you should get your kids into professional basketball lessons. As soon as they hung up the phone, they called the next parent over down the list and said, hey, And all the other parents said, no, it's okay. It's public's free and fine, and there isn't even a professional basketball team in Vietnam. But the teachers will be giving your number to telemarketers and be like, you can tell them anything. They'll believe you. I think we went off a little bit off of the finance thing, but
Yeah, it's still finance. But do you want to answer that question? Like, would you have? Like,
myself, yeah. And I guess this can be the last little bit. I don't know how long it's been. I'm guessing it's been an hour or so.
it's been
but
roughly an hour. I mean,
we don't want this too long. Like
I still have
hearing
questions
us
to ask.
talk for an hour. Yeah, I know you do, but you can ask me offline. These poor viewers, they have to hear us for a whole hour.
I don't think.
I don't know how they do it. Like, I'd go insane, to be honest. But,
Is that is that
it's
why you
rules, eh?
never listen to our podcast?
Yeah. I don't even know why we get views.
Me too.
Anyway, the answer to the question.
Mhm.
The answer to the question.
Okay.
I would have children, Ethan,
Okay.
but I don't think I'd get them special basketball lessons.
Sure.
I don't think that's the best financial decision. I don't know how strong the basketball scene is in Regina, but I'm guessing it's not, on the level of NBA.
Mhm.
I would get them into sports like you,
Mhm.
and I'd probably get them into music. I like music, and I think that even though a lot of kids drop music,
Mhm.
it is a good base to have. I'd get them into swimming because you never know when you might be drowning.
Oh yeah,
the
that's a
plane
good
going
idea.
down. You don't want to be down the drain.
Literally.
However, I don't think I'd have many children. Max 2,
Max
ideally
2.
1. I think one's good to focus on.
Yeah.
You can put all your eggs in one basket, and when that one basket fails you, and
When the
you
plane
get really depressed,
when the plane goes
and
out.
no other backup, then of course I'll probably regret it. But I still think one investment that is better than 14 investments.
Well, I'm not saying 14, but like maybe 3.
One kid with every date,
Mm-hmm.
every wife.
Every wife.
I've heard people who've had kids in every province. Maybe my goal should be kid in every country.
Sure.
That way you can escape the legal system. I'm totally joking here. Of course, I'd never do that.
No, he's dead serious. Like the look on his face.
I'd feel so bad. Honestly, that's when I'd start drinking, as a problem.
Interesting.
I just noticed.
Yeah.
No wonder my mic isn't on. Just wait. I thought I was using my good mic, but I've been using my bad mic. Do you see this on my dock? Anyway, don't worry about it. I've been just using my bad mic the whole time.
I know, it sounds good to me.
I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch my microphone.
I don't think it's a good timing for you to. We should have done this like an hour ago.
Hey. Can you hear me better now? Hola. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, that's my answer to your question.
The gain is a little bit too high.
Nice.
The gain is a little bit
Now
too high.
that sound nice and crisp. I don't know. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have done this like an hour ago, but sure. Switch your mic.
Hey. The purpose of this thing is, just to relax, Ethan. We ain't gonna be like the next, I don't know, who's a big podcaster. We're gonna be like that guy, the podcast that's on the outskirts. The only people who know about podcasts is well, I guess you won't have a kid, but I'll have my one kid will be like, Dad, what did you do when you were in university and all that? And they'll be like, well, if you search the internet, you might stumble upon a podcast I did, but I don't know if you'll find that there's just too much stuff on there now.
You'll be like, oh my god, my dad's a sucker. My dad's a loser. Instead of doing the cool things.
At least, yeah, you're a loser, but at least you're not as bad as that one guy on the podcast. Where is he now? Let me tell you about this basketball stuff.
I can imagine.
You don't hear from him anymore. It's he's out on the street.
You imagine your kids just going to kindergarten, and there will be the day where they talk about their family and stuff, and all these kids will talk about, oh, my dad is a police, my dad is a an artist, that sort of stuff. And then when it's turned to Jock Jr. over here, he was like, "Oh yeah, my dad, he did a podcast during his
that's all he did. And then he became what's it called? A house dad. And after that, he just like sat on the couch and did nothing.
Yeah, potato couch that he is.
Yeah.
Dreaming about his podcast Prime Day with his little friend.
Yeah, I'll be like, I really should have like taken that podcast more seriously. Maybe I should have actually edited those videos.
Yeah. Instead of using your money wisely, on the banks and stuff, you should have like put money in this podcast, like put it out there, run ads everywhere.
Okay, how would I put money in this podcast? Please tell me. Like, what were the 3 investments I should make?
Well,
I buy a nice mic, and what do you say? You say, "Oh well, Jacques, the mic's not good." I bought this mic way long before this podcast, by the way. I don't want
I know.
to make it seem like
Make it seem like you just like the moment I told
I
you.
actually care.
I know.
No, but okay, what are the 3 investments I should have invested in?
Well, in this podcast, maybe
Ice cream?
yeah, ice cream for yourself after each of every episode. But maybe a script, maybe a better microphone.
Look, Ethan, we tried this script thing. For the viewers, like, if you remember episode 1, we had that like intro.
Uh-huh.
That was from a script. And like the rest of it was like supposed to be a script too. And well, like we kind of talked a little bit robotically, so we decided to kind of axe that. But like maybe the robot thing with this whole AI like stuff coming out, maybe that's the fad now.
No, I'm
like,
kidding. No, don't.
We go off the script. Hey, Ethan, let's try the next episode. Script. Full script.
I'm not talking about like full script. I'm talking about like investment in like the content that we churn out instead of
Ethan,
what?
If it makes us sound smart, then that's a miracle. Go with the script. Like maybe that's why people are teleprompters and actually like notes and things. Maybe that's how they become big. Like
maybe, yeah.
Even just like I'm talking so stupid and
we're talking about investment here. Like when we talk about investment, you want returns, right? So I'm talking about like if you want returns with the amount of investment that you put in. I'm just saying that's the sort of road that you want to go down. But like that's not the road that we want to go down. We don't want returns, right? We want.
I see.
So
I've written him in my notes right now. Written down. Okay. Jobs. Jock. It's a blank page. Ethan. Now we have edit video, upload video, find guest, and write script. Write good script. Investments and returns. Next episode, we'll each do our task, and it'll be much better. I like this. We're going someplace. I was also thinking maybe we should have like different thumbnails every episode. Ethan.
Yeah.
We could like draw those out, and like maybe like a Patreon where we like upload like special Patreon bits. We don't need 2 people for that. We can just have one person like doing those Patreon videos. I'm liking this. We're getting more professional. We as a team, right? 50-50. And when we start getting money, of course, we split it right down the middle, right? You get 25% and I get the 75%. It's looking good. We're made for the stars.
What a good father that you are, Jacques. Your kid. Your kid.
They're going to be having fun. When they do their podcast, they have a lot to talk about. I'll tell you that.
But anyway, it's been an hour. Do you want to wrap this up, or like, do you want?
Okay, this has been 2 monkeys on a microphone. Next time, we're going to be doing an episode with a script. provided by Ethan. It's going to be a bit robotic, maybe about AI,
Shut up.
and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk like this the whole time. Ethan, how was your day? My day was very good. I enjoyed it. The sun was out. Okay, bye everyone. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in. You made it here. If you made it here, thank you.
End the thing, Ethan. End it. Just click the
Just
off
gonna
button.
say, I just want to spend.
Too long.
Okay. Can you just let me just do the thing?
Okay.
Thank you, viewers, for tuning in to our episode about finance. I hope you have fun. I definitely have fun. Knowing Chuck and the kind of cheapskate that he is. Very interesting to me. And tune in next week where we talk about what do you want to talk about next week. No promise, so memes. No, don't
We
talk
already
about
went
memes.
over this. It's AI scripts.
Sure. We can do the what if thing. I think that's pretty funny. And also, where's Braden? The guy just disappear after.
He knew.
He knew.
He was like, I'm done.
Anyway.
I wish I was Braden. I wish I could just walk away.
I mean, it's not like I'm holding a gunpoint to your head right now. But sure. Anyway.
You guys don't see this, but he does have a gun to my head. Actually, a knife to my throat. If he had a gun to my head, it wouldn't be as bad. But bleeding out is kind of a bit.
Anyway, thank you.
Sucky way to go.
See you next week, where we talk about some random shit that we found interesting after this. Goodbye.